to rallying behind the nonprofits.
That's where we see the value, is that there's systems in place to help people understand how these things run.
In the wake of bad press, the Billings Chamber is helping nonprofits win back the trust of the community they serve. Plus, not backing down.
They don't like that I rent to low-income people, and now, as you noted, these people are being driven from the property.
The owner of a troubled Park City apartment building claims county leaders are against him. We'll tell you why. And holidays of hope.
We're going to start selling Christmas trees to raise funds for our ministry.
Christmas trees helping to give those in recovery a fresh start at life. We'll explain. The MTN 10 o'clock news starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Well, good evening, and thanks for joining us on this Monday night. I'm Russ Riesinger. Tonight, a fresh step forward for Billings nonprofits. After weeks of local organizations making headlines over mishandled funds, efforts are now underway to restore public confidence. The Billings Chamber and two other local groups are stepping in, pledging to rebuild trust through transparency and stronger oversight. Our Isabel Spartz reports on how they plan to do it.
We've seen the allegations. In recent months, 3 Billings nonprofit leaders have come under fire. Centennial Ice Arena's former director, Sean Michael Gilmore, was arrested and charged last month with embezzling over $15,000 in funds. In September, the Montana Rescue Mission's executive director, Matt Lundgren, was fired after an internal investigation. The mission has since made efforts to do better, while keeping their main goal, serving the community, top of mind.
One of the things that we've done in all of the leadership changes is reopen lines of communication with area partners.
When former CEO of New Day, Sherry Lynn Bolter, was charged with embezzling property and forgery,
We've definitely got phone calls of people taking pause.
city organizations took notice. Zach Terakidis with the Billings Community Foundation says his organization was working with New Day for 10 months prior to Bolter's charges.
Their number one priority is they could not have a disruption in service, even as they deal with leadership transition.
Terakidis says while these few have shown mismanagement, they've corrected properly, and there are many more doing right.
We want to make sure people are confident in what's going on and knowing that those missteps are being taken care of internally with those organizations.
It's those situations that prompted the Foundation, the Billings Chamber, and United Way to all write an open letter Friday as a way to address the concerns that the community may have surrounding nonprofits.
In most cases, it's not the good work that they're doing that's the problem, it's just that they don't understand a certain aspect of their nonprofit structure.
The 3 are working together to offer more trainings, tools, and education opportunities on top of resources they already offer.
We're going to start working directly with board executives to make sure those board executives have the tools they need to understand nonprofit finance, building their endowments.
Thanks to a large grant, it's all free of charge. It's a step in the right direction and a step towards bringing back public trust in a sector that does so much for our community.
Keep encouraging people to come out and support, and I think the number one is just get involved. Be involved, you'll know what's happening, and that's where we really need our community to always step up.
In Billings, Isabel Spartz, MTN News.
Dalis Stadium once again in the spotlight at tonight's school board meeting. Construction to restore the nearly century-old facility is almost underway. But in the meantime, leaders are deciding on naming rights for a number of the venue's features. Comes after officials approved the name of Sam McDonald Memorial Stadium at Dalis a few weeks ago, ultimately beating out Heenan and Cook with a $2 million bid over 5 years. This evening, the school board approved Bill Underreiner to sponsor the stadium's lighting for $250,000, while Shields won naming rights for the new track at $1 million. School officials say naming rights on this $14 million project are still open for the field itself, the home locker rooms, and the west entrance. Almost $12 million have been raised for the project, with the demolition of the west grandstand set to begin on December 12th. In the face of growing GOP support for a bill compelling the Justice Department to release all the files it has on Jeffrey Epstein, President Trump has reversed his stance on making the documents public. Erica Brown has the latest from the White House.
The House is expected to vote as soon as Tuesday on a measure compelling the Justice Department to release all its files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
So it's been a PR blunder from the beginning. And I think the Speaker's right. This is going to happen, so let's get it done and vote on it.
The House will act decisively. The Senate needs to act. And Donald Trump just needs to step out of the way.
President Trump previously opposed the release of the files, saying he cut ties with Jeffrey Epstein years ago and has not been accused of wrongdoing. In a reversal, the president now says he's in favor of releasing the files.
They can do whatever they want. We'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it.
But the president continued to call the push a hoax.
It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them. And it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax.
On Monday, one of Jeffrey Epstein's alleged victims spoke out.
Speaking as one of the victims, I beg you to release these files once and for all. I mean, there is no valid reason for refusing to do so.
If passed, the bill would force the Justice Department to release all files and communications related to Epstein, as well as any information about the investigation into his death in federal prison.
The bill is expected to pass the House with Republican support, but it remains unclear whether the Senate will take up the measure. The bill would also need a signature from President Trump, which he suggested he's willing to provide. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
A Billings man accused of kidnapping pled guilty to the charges today. According to charging documents, in June of last year, 34-year-old Joshua Wellington beat up and kidnapped a woman he'd been dating. The woman said she visited Wellington 3 times in Miles City, and during that final visit, he became aggressive and angry after taking meth, strangling her until she began to pass out, hitting her over the head with a liquor bottle. He then forced her into her car, took her cell phone, continued to beat her up on the drive, including stabbing her with a pen. Wellington eventually needed to stop for gas, and she was able to escape and get help despite being told by Wellington that he would kill her if she ran. He was arrested after a high-speed chase, could face a maximum of life in prison. A new scam is hitting Sheridan. Police say criminals are using real emergency calls heard over police scanners to target unsuspecting people. Will Wagner shows you how the scam works and what you need to watch out for.
This individual advised that he received a call from a Wyoming number.
Sheridan Police Chief Travis Koltiska says he recently encountered a scam he has not seen before.
An individual purported to be a paramedic who is working an accident with the male's younger sister and infant.
Chief Koltiska says based on what the caller was saying about the supposed accident, the man who was the target of the scam was concerned and followed the scammer's instructions.
The guy who purported to be a paramedic asked him to respond to Walmart. Well, while en route to Walmart, the story started changing and some questions started getting asked. And at one point, he hung up the phone and called his sister and learned that his sister was not in danger in any way. It was not an accident.
With the scam thwarted, the would-be victim reported it to police, and it became clear the scammer did some extensive legwork.
Hours before that, the police department did investigate a crash with a young lady and an infant child. And so there was a connection made from the crash. It was not the same people involved. So there was some connection made, and the scam was attempting to use a legitimate situation that occurred in Sheridan.
Chief Koltiska says many departments have begun encrypting scanner traffic to avoid personal information being shared on social media or being used by bad actors, as in this case.
A lot of agencies are going to encrypted information, encrypted radio channels, which have no access to the community, to the public. For that reason, to protect people's confidentiality, protect the individual's identities in these sorts of situations, and just to prevent information that could be used nefariously from getting out there.
In Sheridan, Will Wagner, MTN News.
Park City's Homestead Apartments are shut down and residents are packing up and leaving. Now the owner, Gary Whites, is speaking out, claiming the county's move to vacate the building is political and not about health. A boil water advisory was issued Saturday after officials found bacteria from a sewage leak in neighborhood wells. Residents say this property's been a headache for years. Whites disputes those claims, saying the sewer lines show no new leaks, only a fresh water issue seeping into the septic.
This is all a political driven issue, and this is just a way they think they found to shut down my rental here in town.
Whites claims he's paid back the rents for all those evicted and offered to move the residents into his other properties. In the meantime, the health department has capped the water source in that area.
Let's take a look at the month of November. The calendar here, anywhere you see a red shaded number, it means that the temperatures were warmer than average for this time of the year, and the gray shaded ones mean they were within 3 degrees of an average day for the early part of November. But notice there's no days highlighted in blue. Nothing so far where we've had a colder than average day. It's also been drier than average as well. Temperatures are running almost 9.5 degrees warmer than we would typically see, but we've only seen 2/100ths of an inch of precipitation. That means that right now we're in 10th place for November for the first 17 days. Some changes ahead. We'll talk about that with the forecast.
The Lamar Valley in Yellowstone National Park has a new landmark as the Yellowstone River Bridge opens for traffic. The bridge near Tower Junction reopened after construction. It stretches over 1,200 feet with concrete decking and sidewalks, replacing the 1960s structure that became a safety concern. Popular spot for wildlife viewing, the bridge will be fully completed by 2026 with overlooks and restoration work funded by the Great American Outdoors Act. It's part of a bigger push to improve access between Yellowstone and local communities. Attorney General Austin Knudsen awarded 2 Montana Highway Patrol troopers with special recognition at the state capitol today. Trooper Jordan Gulick has been with MHP for 12 years and is ending his career with the agency's highest honor. Trooper Gulick received the Award of Valor for his life-saving efforts in August of 2024. Without regard for his own safety, Trooper Gulick rushed to the scene of a fiery rollover crash, overcame immense challenges, ultimately saving the driver's life.
It's always great to get recognition in any job that you have, but the point of this job is not recognition at all. It's just about going out there and providing your service, whether it's big things like this or the small day-to-day stuff that affects most of the Montanans out there.
MHP Trooper Nick Wade received the Attorney General's Award of Commendation for saving the life of a hiker who was experiencing a medical emergency.